interfering. Even though I don't want to get it. Oh, when you're about to start.
Oh, there we are. Welcome, folks, to the number one rated college football podcast in Southwest Denton County. I am, of course, RJ Choppy. I'm your host, and it is a wonderful, glorious day. We had ourselves a hell of a weekend in college football. This is water. I did have vodka in it this week, and I can still taste it because I didn't wash the cup. But that's okay. It's a dry day. It's a dry day today. It was a great week of college football. Not so great for our Vols. We won. However, I do have to say that was a very uninspiring performance against Austin P. Not Pay, P. They're the Governors. That's their nickname. They used to have this great, badass play-by-play guy. I can't remember his name. This dude had like the accent of all accents. The Govs. Yeah, man, the Govs are going to win this game. The Govs are going to win. It's fantastic. Anyway, very uninspiring. I don't know what to do. I don't know if they're just like kind of keeping everything close to the vest. I have no idea what's really happening. What I do know is that it's a big game this week against the University of Florida, the Florida Gators. And, of course, this is what we do. Every week we do this in the pool. Sometimes it's going to be on the Saturday. Most of the time it's going to be on the Saturday. We couldn't do it this week on the Saturday, so we're just doing it when we can this week. Most of the time it's going to be in the pool, which is really going to be a problem, come November, quite frankly. It's going to be a very big problem. I'm already nipping. It's 83 degrees in here. I could cut the camera here, right here, with my nips. Ooh. The jet was well placed and it just turned off, and that's weird. That's a weird feeling when you have it like nonstop vibrating against you and all of a sudden it turns off. Anyway, where was I? Yes, it's Florida week. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you noticed this, but if you go on the Twitter, or is it X? What do people call it now? At RJ Choppy on Twitter. We were 6-1 this week. I don't hear from anybody. when we're 6-1. I hear when we're 1-2 or 2-2 or 0-3. Yeah, I hear that. But when we're 6-1, crickets. We're giving away free picks here. Free picks, and you guys are bitching and moaning about them. And free picks, 6-1, crickets. Except for Andy. Andy hooked me up with a big giant cutting board. It's a cutting board, right, man? It was a cutting board. It was very cool. Had an epoxy too. Had the Tennessee logo on the inside. It was very awesome. Andy's a winner. And we missed by a half point. You could have taken the college picks and done a 4-team parlay on our picks, and you would have lost your parlay by a half point in the Utah game. A half point. Undefeated in the NFL. Look, that's how we do things on the Degenerate Football Podcast. And that's why we're the number one rated podcast in Southwest Denton County. I don't even know if that's real or not. I don't even know, honestly, if I live in Southwest Denton County. It could be Southern Denton County. It could be Southeast. Do you know which one it is?
I think this is Denton.
Well, we know it's Denton County. Is it Southeast or Southwest or Southern? I don't think looking at the stars is going to help you. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. She's looking up at the sky like you're a sailor from Spain who's floating the Amazon. Have you heard about this story? I heard about this story the other day. These group of people back in like the not quite ancient times, but like the explorer days. They went down the entire Amazon River and they got to the end. They looked at the stars. They built a boat. And sailed back to Spain. People actually did this. And here I have to go onto my phone and use Google Maps to find out how to get to Bedford, to a restaurant in Bedford. Yet they're using the stars to find their way back to Spain. Different people, different world, right? Anyway, 6-1 this past weekend. We won the Colorado game. I don't know what Vegas is going to do with Colorado. I really don't. Game day is going to be there this week in Boulder. Colorado, they are incapable of finding correct odds on them. First of all, there was no way of knowing what was going to happen in the first game, and then the second game, you have to be an emotional bettor. And I said this on the radio this week. You have to be an emotional bettor if you want to bet on Colorado right now. There is no game plan for them. There's no numbers for them. No data. Some people say data, whatever, but there isn't any for them. So you can't really bet Colorado without using emotion. That's a very dangerous way to bet. You don't want to bet on emotion. You bet on emotion, that's how you start losing. You got to bet with the numbers. I never bet on Tennessee ever, except like I will bet against them, and that way I win either way. Either they lose and I win money, or they win and I'm happy. I'll pay for a victory every now and then. It's like being a booster, only for Vegas. But they don't know how to put numbers on Colorado. This week, they finally, I think, have adjusted, but they have adjusted too much. They're 22.5-point favorite. 22.5. That's a lot. That's a lot of man, for a team that has not had to play from a position of success, to put a 22.5-point number on them, that's pretty high. That's pretty high. Again, but that's where Vegas is right now. They don't know. And the public is kicking their ass. The public never beats Vegas, ever. Public doesn't beat anybody. Fade the hype, fade the public, man. You got to fade them both. The public doesn't beat Vegas. The public doesn't beat the sharp bettors. They're killing it with Colorado. Good for them. They figured out, they found a flaw in the system. That flaw is Deion Sanders. Nobody thought that he'd be able to go do that in the first 2 weeks. Competitive, sure, but that, so that's, but that's where this week's going to go with the college football betting. We're finally, hopefully, going to get some, really barn burner games. We still don't, though. We still only have just a couple of games around top 25 teams where they're both matched up, or not even top 25, but finally getting into some conference play. And the SEC is really going to get going this week. But this past week, I'll tell you, I think we might see it. I think we might see the SEC get left out this year. I can't believe I'm going to say that. I'm an SEC guy, obviously, but I think we're going to see them get left out. Tennessee is going to beat Georgia at home, and then they're going to lose to Bama. Or they're going to lose to Bama, then beat Georgia at home. And everyone's going to have one loss, and Texas will wind up being undefeated. And USC or maybe Oregon State or Oregon, you never know who's going to come out of the Pac-12. You may have an undefeated Big Ten team. Florida State's probably a shoe-in. Dude, I mean, like I could easily see a scenario where they get knocked out, which is good. Now, what does that mean in the grand scheme of things? Absolutely nothing. And the fact that the conference is 1-4 against top 25 teams this year, it means absolutely nothing. We are 10 weeks away from any of these games actually mattering, any of these results actually mattering. And I'll believe it when I see it, where the committee leaves the SEC completely out, being that the SEC controls the entire thing. But it would not stun me this year. This would be the year, if it happens, it would be this year. Real quick question for you out there. We need a name for our dog. If anybody wants to throw those kind of suggestions our way, we need a name for our dog. We're struggling with this. We had this dog. How long had the dog? A week yesterday. No name. The dog's birth name is Los Angeles. I was just trying to see how long of a pause I could have for effect. That's pretty much the worst name I've ever heard. I suppose they could have named it, I don't know, Bakersfield. It's probably a little worse, right? Bakersfield's worst. Houston's worse. Definitely worse. Houston sucks. There's a few names they could have gone with that would have been worse, but that's pretty bad. So we need a new name. We're thinking some Tennessee names. I like Smokey. She's vetoing Smokey. So what we're all going to do is we're going to get a couple of vetoes here. I thought maybe Manning or Peyton, but she's Peyton. I work with the Peyton. Manning is, then you call him Manny, and then then he's Manny Ramirez, and I hate the Red Sox. So I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to figure this one out. We got to noodle with this a little bit. We got a list together. let's see. I got a list here for you. I'll read this list of names. These are some cute names. Don't look at my password. All right, let's go here. How do I do this? And then, names. Here we go. I got Pudge. Pudge is a good name. Basil. I like Basil. Big fan of Basil. Sage. It's a very Kyrie Irving name. Gumbo. Like Gumbo. Pork Chop. Pork Chop might not work because my last name's Choppy, so it's Pork Chop Choppy. Could do Nash for Nashville. Knox for Knoxville. Emmett, the great Emmett Smith. Meatball. I like meatball. I like meatballs. I'm a meatball. I have no neck. I look like a walking meatball. All you got to do is slather marinara all over me, and you couldn't tell the difference between me and a meatball. Let's see. Fonzie. She picked Fonzie. I like that one. Cannoli. I like cannoli. I'm Italian. Gnocchi. I like that. Crockett for Tennessee. A great Tennessean. Davy Crockett. Single-handedly saved the Texas Republic. Archie. Could be Archie. Call him Arch Manning. Asp. These next two are a little bit, I think they're girly. I think they're girly names. Can we say that? Can we say they're girly today? I don't know. Aspen and Ducky. Here's the thing. Those are her choices. The last two. I'm going to put those on her. I could do Ducky, but here's the thing. I like to say Ducky when something's good. Oh, it's just Ducky. Oh, it's wonderful. How's everything today? Good. Just Ducky. So I don't know. Doesn't that sound a little bit? Yeah, I literally do say that. You don't listen to a word I say. She didn't listen to me. She's camera shy. I'm gonna shine that camera over there on you. No, no, she didn't do her hair today. You did do your hair. You were working. You worked all day. Hey, stop barking. We don't. Hey. Damn dog. So anyway, help us out with the names. But this was I'm really getting ready. I'm really. The first 2 weekends of college football, I got to say, they kind of stunk. Outside of the Colorado storyline and Texas, back, they're back. The first 2 weeks have really stunk. They really have. It's been very, very demoralizing, very, very depressing, but such is life. This is what the college football world wanted. They wanted to be NFL light. Guess what? You got NFL light. You got games where there's too much parity now because all this talent's spread out all over the place, which is good. It's good for the players. Everything looks the same, looks just like the NFL. You got blowout central in the beginning. So those games have always stunk. And then now we'll see. We'll see. There's no more dynasty. The dynasty is in Georgia. You can't have Georgia be a college football. Yeah, I just tooted. You saw the bubbles pop up. You can't have Georgia be a college football dynasty. You just can't. This is the program that always disappoints. We have to get Bama back. We have to get Ohio State back. We need Texas back. We do. You can't have Georgia, and I hate Georgia. I can't stand it. Like they're just the worst. Absolute worst. It's so frustrating. We're gonna lose. I don't know. I feel it. I feel we're gonna get beat by Florida. I'm scared to death. I don't trust Joe Milton. I mean, none of his receivers are not 8 feet tall. Okay, Joe, your receiver. I know you got a cannon for an arm. Your receivers aren't 8 feet tall. I'm hoping that the entire system was just like, hey, let's sleepwalk through these first 2 games, and then let's put the actual real game plans together for Florida. I don't know. We will talk to you on Saturday. We'll be back for Saturday. We're gonna do this thing right during the Tennessee game on Saturday night. We don't do anything Saturday night. What are we doing Saturday night? Huh? Oh yeah, Wes and Nat will be here. That's right. So we're gonna have some special guests on the show. And Mackenzie will be here too. We're gonna have some special guests on the show this next week. This coming weekend. This little primer. We're gonna have a pool full of people, and I'm gonna be doing this right during the Tennessee game because I got a TV right there where I can watch it. And we're gonna do this during the Tennessee-Florida game. I'm a little scared. I'm not sure what to think of this game. It's a road game. It's Milton's first road game. Is that right? I think it is his first road game. Because his first home game was like Pitt, right? A couple years ago. I think it is his first. They got hurt. Yeah, this is his first real road game, first real true. I don't count road games; they're not in the SEC. They're not really road games yet. Like that was the first road game Texas has played in a couple of years. That one, they hadn't played one since. All right, I'm sorry, they don't count if they're not in the. And I don't even count the SEC. Like really, like I don't even count Arkansas, and I barely count A&M. I mean, it's got to be deep into the Southeast for me to actually count that road game. But this will be Milton's first road game. Little bit scared. See you next week, boys and girls, on the number one rated podcast in all of Southwest Denton County or whatever. How do I turn this thing off? End stream. Bye.